Hi friends, happy Friday! Whoop whoop! That phrase is kind of obnoxious in like its creation, like Friday. It's really cheesy, but I mean it fits, right? I mean every day is a yay day for me. Wow, you can see how happy I am right now starting out with all this dancing. And that's exactly why I wanted to share a video right now while all the happiness tips and things I employ on the daily are fresh in my mind. First, I want to show you, look at this, I'm on my rooftop. So I wanted to show you this amazing view. Ooh. I'm going to walk backwards so you can see. And that area looks so amazing at nighttime because all the cars, like, their lights as they go down the center. Okay, you get to see. Who knows that building? Okay, and then my favorite building, peeking! Chrysler Building. So amazing. All right, friends. So let me go this way so you can have this background. I had an amazing day. I worked and I was so thankful. For those of you who don't know, I am enabled to pursue my life passion of being a full-time artist. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to my mate and my mom who financially support me, and God, of course, for having everything align and the timing being perfect because it's His timing for things to just happen. So I've been living my dream or pursuing my dream career for I want to say since April. That's when I got fired from my job. I allowed myself to be fired, and that's going to be a video because I learned about covert racism when I was working there. And guess where I was working? At a social justice nonprofit org that focuses on uplifting, well, its focus is supposed to be intersectionality. And guess what? My boss treated people of color like crap. So I will be discussing that later. Okay, so I'm so thankful that I'm able to, do what makes me happiest, which is to draw, to create art, to have amazing conversations with people every day, to help people, and to just share my joy, the joy that God's given me. So I worked today and I was so thankful for that opportunity. And I give exams, and I'm not going to go into depth because I don't want to get in trouble with anything, but when you take a test, sometimes you're like anxious or whatever, and I've been doing this for giving exams for 13 years, and I did event staff security, so I worked at concerts and stuff, worked with a lot of drunken folk who just want to get their dance on, and I had to be the buzzkill. So, and I was a supervisor, so I had to deal with, managing the people I worked with as well, and expectations. So I have, through compassion and through over 12 years of customer service experience, I have really picked up patience, and I work every time to really empathize with people because I try to put myself in the situation like, okay, what if I was taking a test? What if this happened? Like, how would I feel? And then knowing as a person who has in the past, thank you Jesus, I'm delivered, who has struggled with trying to control every element of your life, I know that when I get anxious or upset, then I try to control things, and so I get it. So I had an opportunity today to really just love on people and to be patient with them and compassionate and to be pleasant. And then I left and I was just like feeling good. I got out early, like over an hour earlier than anticipated, and it's a great day. I love New York. It makes me happy. I'm wearing my new head wrap. Ben got it for me. Yay! I love my boyfriend. I was like, babe, show me which one you like, and he liked 3, and then he bought 3 for me. So sweet. So I had my whole outfit pattern to match this, and because I have marked today as like officially fall because it's cooler, and I got a pumpkin for the house, so this is my fall outfit, boots and leggings. Yep. So my tips. So tip 1, just like walk around, be happy. I use my walking time, and if you're in a commuter city, use your driving time I use it to pray. I use it to just think about my day, to just think about my blessings, to look around me and just at the people and the buildings and everything, and just, I don't know, I just vibe with the space, vibe with the energy and live off of it, and the people, like, smile at people, like it's contagious, and smiling makes you happy, and I just smile at people all the time because I'm happy. I'm feeling myself when I walk, it's like, you know depending on the situation, the person, I'll give them a full teeth smile. That's usually just you know the closed mouth smile. But it's great. Something I started doing, like, I smile at people, like, generally anyway, but when I got woke in 2016, November, my woke date's coming up, woke birthday, I decided that in that moment, the first thing I could do to help my people, I was like, Lord, what can I do to help my people? And I was like, I'm going to smile at them. And it may sound silly, but it's huge. It's huge in the sense that I've been disconnected from my people because my mind had been conditioned into that of a house slave mind. And so I missed out on more opportunities with connecting with my people from the African diaspora. I missed connecting with them more in, can't find my words. One, I want to say from the African diaspora instead of the Black community. I'm always trying to be mindful of my language, and I'm saying that now because I'm reading this book and it was talking about how for many centuries Black and Negroid was a term used to describe any person of color. And I think that's so fascinating, and that's crucial to know, because when you're reading certain stories and you're like, oh, a group of Black people did this, it's like, that doesn't mean you're from Africa. And also I want to say the African diaspora, because I'm learning, like I shared in a video, I don't know if I posted it yet, but Brazil, South America has a huge, or from what I was told, is primarily like Afro-Latina or Latino. And so I just want to say from the African diaspora, because I don't know where you're coming from, and I'm referencing anyone who, has African roots. So that's what I'm saying when I say that, instead of the Black community. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Okay, so when I got woke, I was like, Lord, what can I do right now to help my people? And smiling was huge for me because I had been distanced from them. And sometimes people look scary, and that has nothing to do with your race. Anyone can look scary. Skin has nothing to do with scary. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't want to smile, if someone's just like mad dogging you, but I do it anyway if they're chocolate. Because I want to connect. I even want that small connection. And sometimes even scary looking people smile at you. And that's like been huge for me, because it's just a good reminder why we can't presume anything about someone. You don't know what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their headspace, what they've been through, if they're in pain currently, so many different things could be the reason. Also, people say I look mean or upset when I'm not smiling, but you're not just gonna be walking around smiling like some freak, without ever resting your face. So anyway, I recommend smiling at people, and even if they don't smile back, it may sting a little, but just get over it, because that's on them. You're smiling, it makes you feel good, and other people see it, and it's contagious. And often people smile back and they're so happy, or they'd be like, wow, nice smile. And it's just we just need more positivity in the world, and I'm trying to bring as much of that as I can. That's been part of my journey of why I learned complaining is just so bad, because the world is so broken already and there's so much negativity in it already. I don't need to add to that, so let me only speak if it's something positive. And it was a challenge in the beginning, but now it's becoming second nature, and I'm happier, and I hope the people around me are happy. So smile at people. Then talk to people. So just noticing that they're human. If you're walking next to someone and maybe they stumble or something, so just walking by, say, oh, are you okay? Just that connection right there, because people aren't expecting anyone to notice them. And I think we all want connection. We all crave human connection, and a lot of people feel ignored or like they don't matter. and you don't know what someone's going through in their day. So imagine if you smiled at them, or if you asked them if they're okay, if they hurt themselves. Side note, a lady at the airport, when I was traveling some time ago, she burned coffee on herself, and I was reading my book, and I could have just ignored her, but I put down my book because I'm making this a conscious thing, and I asked her, oh, are you okay? And we ended up speaking for over an hour, and she was so awesome, and she was from Paris, and you know I love all things French. And so now I have a French contact, and we had an amazing conversation, and she was woke, and she was of, not, I don't even know how to say this, because I know there's African people in France, so I guess I could just say she's a white French person. I don't know. That's what I'm calling it until I come across a term. If you have a better term for that, let me know in the comments. And she was really woke, and she was telling me, like, she was the one who informed me about the Dutch, like, being part of the colonization of Africa. Like, I didn't even realize they were involved too. I'm just learning as well. And she gave me a recommendation of a book, Afrotopia, and I'm really excited to read it. So I recommend smiling at people, asking people questions that are relevant to their actions. Are you okay? Instead of saying, I really ask, how are you doing? Instead of how are you doing, I try to say, how's your day going? Or how has your morning been so far? Because how are you doing, I feel, is like one of those phrases we just toss around, and just like, I love you. And so people's responses are just automatic, kind of close-ended. Or I guess the question would be kind of close-ended. Okay, so I like to ask, how are you feeling today? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Any plans for your weekend? Oh, did you go on exciting trips this summer? You know, just questions that are going to get people to start talking. And I think, I don't know, people are really open with me. I don't know if it's because I have a friendly face or if it's because I ask them questions, but people tell me their life stories. They tell me all of their business, and it's great. And I think it's because people aren't really expecting you to really care about their day. And I know I make that even more of an effort with people like on the other side of the counter of me, because I have been on that other side doing the customer service and like been treated like I was a robot, like I'm not even a human. And it's hard, especially if that's like your full-time career, to like be treated like you don't matter all the time. That's difficult. So I like to always address people by names. They have a name tag, so take a glance and be like, oh, thank you so much, Roberta. Thank you so much, Bianca, Pablo, whatever. And I think that's just a great connection. That also, I realized, has opened up doors, because when I'm having genuine conversations and when I feel led by the Spirit, then I hand someone my card, and I was like, oh yeah, like, if you're interested, I would love for you to check out my blog. I'm an artiste, and I do this and I do that, and you may enjoy it. But I may not have had that opportunity if I'm not having a conversation. And I don't want to just be giving people my cards. I want them to know I genuinely would love for them to visit my blog, and that I enjoy their connection, and, you know, here's my information so we can stay connected, you know, via social media, whatever. And so I think it makes it more real, and I think it also, you know, encourages people to actually want to see what I'm up to, because they can see that I care about them, having a conversation with them, and I do care about them. Like, we all have to start caring about each other more, or at least loving each other, because you don't have to like someone to love them. And I feel like that kind of goes with caring. But once you start talking to people more, it's easier to love them, and it's easier to care about them, and easier to empathize with them. And that's just grown me so much as a person. So what else? So talking to people. I just talked to someone randomly. I was taking a picture of Serena Williams. Yeah, Nike. I'm not saying anything more. Get it, Nike. But it said, girls from Compton don't play tennis. They own it. And I was like, yes. Yes. Because people are always trying to tell black people what we can and cannot do. And it's just because they don't want to include us. And no. So we're going to join. We're going to dominate. We're going to show you you're wrong. Missy Copeland, too buff, too tall, all these things. No. Sensational. But I took a picture of Serena's poster, the Nike, because it was amazing. And because Compton, I'm from Compton in Long Beach, my family, born and raised. So, Compton's dear to my heart. So I took that picture, and then two guys behind me like saw me, and I like caught their eye, and I could have just like kept it pushing. I was like, no, that's an opportunity to have a quick conversation. And they were from the African diaspora, and that's huge for me because I feel like all communities need to connect more, and the Black community, I'm gonna say Black community for the U.S. That's just hard. It's hard being mindful of your language. I'll say chocolate. Oh yeah, that's easier. So the chocolate people I see on the street, I want to connect with them because the chocolate community is split apart the most and has been since the very beginning. You know, when they brought us over on ships, they stole our language. They took that from us. They took our names from us, so we couldn't communicate. They pit us against each other by putting some in the house, some in the fields, by making the overseers, you know, one of us, to have to discipline each other, to fight each other to the death. You know, we've been pitted against each other since the beginning, and it's still going on now with poverty, and creating these environments where poverty thrives so that the Black community cannot come together, so that we stay in gangs, which are often for safety from the cops, from whatever else is going on in your neighborhood. Their family. Gangs are family. I should probably do a video about gangs. I mean, I don't know much, but I have read some stuff, and I have spoken to people who have been living in halfway homes and all that, and I just know that, you know, gangs, it's so easy to judge from the outside, but think about the neighborhoods where the gang members are the ones taking care of the community. They're keeping it safe. They're the ones providing food on holidays or money. You know, watch The Wire. It's actually one of the most realistic portrayals. And I love that because all of the writers are white, are of European descent. And it's great because it's realistic, and it just proves that you don't have to be like, well, I didn't put a Black person in my film because I don't want to speak for them. I don't know their perspective. Okay, everyone can do research. Everyone can talk to people, do focus groups, all that business. So I saw these gentlemen behind me, and I said, yeah, I had to take a picture. You know, when you see your hometown, you got to do it. And they were like, oh, okay, you from Compton? I'm like, yeah, Long Beach. And they had just moved out from LA. And so that's awesome. So it's like, oh, cool, where are you from? And then, like, we exchanged cards. And it's like, that was maybe 70-second to 2-minute conversation as we're just walking towards the train. There you go. It's like, it's important. It's important to say hi. And then also, you know, I'm smiling at folks, and this guy, you know, smiled at me, and I gave him a nice full teeth smile because it was for them in the moment, and it was good. And he smiled back at me. So we're both like, oh, that's just so nice, just smile at someone on the street. And then he actually came and found me in the store to tell me I was so beautiful and to introduce himself. And that's so nice. So it's like you connected with someone, you had that good moment, and that someone says you're beautiful, so that's nice too. And, you know, I always say, oh, you know, I really appreciate that, because I do. Like, that's so kind of people, you know, to say that. And it humbles me every single time. And I was like, yo, but I got a man. And, but he was like, oh, okay. He said, where's your ring? I was like, okay. Because he was like, are you married? I'm like, in spirit. And it's true. But anyway, so then he was like, okay, well, I introduced myself. I asked him his name. Michael, if you're watching this, shout out. Oh, I didn't give him a card, and I meant to. Anyway, still shout out. He's out there. But then I was like, yeah, well, thank you. He was like, I just wanted to, you know, tell you that, come talk to you. I was like, well, thank you. Like, I believe it's important for us, he was a chocolate fellow, for us to communicate more and to start having, you know, more conversations. And he was like, yeah, I agree. And it's just encouraging. It's like, I'm so surprised. I guess I shouldn't say surprised. I'm pleased by the response I've gotten from the chocolate community. When I say chocolate community, it doesn't sound serious, but I mean, y'all know me. I'm serious, but I've also got to keep a smile, even when talking about the sad things. Part of it's a defense mechanism. Like when I'm uncomfortable, I smile. But in these videos, I'm just like smiling, and even when I talk about the sad stuff, I don't know. Like I told you, I'm joyful and I'm sad at the same time. It's strange, but you'll get used to me if you aren't already. Okay, more tips. I really feel like the first two tips are, you know, everything. It leads to the rest. My arm got tied. I had to do a switch. Woo! Smile at people. That lets them know you're open, that you want to interact with them in some way, and sometimes it ends there. Put down your book, put down your cell phone, have a conversation. I saw a kid and he was in a stroller. His parents would push him, and there was a balloon that said happy birthday. And I said, happy birthday! I mean, you just got to put yourself out there. And Ben has told me, you know, that's very difficult because you can get rejected and it hurts. Sometimes I'll compliment someone and they don't say anything. I mean, it's what it is. Like, I didn't even realize. I guess you are putting yourself out there, but I'm like, if you look fabulous, I want to tell you. What if I'm the only person to give you a compliment in the whole day? You know, think about how powerful that is. What if that just like lifts someone up out of the pits of despair that they were in? You know, we just gotta speak love to people. And it's funny because sometimes I compliment people and they give me one back. It's like, oh, well, thanks. And we're both like, oh, you know, and then you both get to feel good. And that's great too. So smile at people, talk to people, find ways to interact with them in natural, genuine ways. Realize that however they respond, it's not about you, it's about them and what they're going through. And so don't get upset. I mean, obviously, feel the emotions you need to feel, but don't take it personally. And people always told me I took things personally, and Ben was able to phrase it in a way that I understood. It's like, really don't take something to heart and feel like you caused this reaction in someone, necessarily. You know, you get what I'm saying? So if someone responds in a negative way or in a way that hurts your feelings, no, it's not you. It's what they're dealing with. Even if you've had like a disagreement, there's a way to be respectful and for both persons to, you know, handle it. But if someone ignores you on the street, you don't know what they're going through. Everyone has a story. So just smile at the next person, you know? And if you're a believer, you love yourself some Jesus, I traverse, I speak when the Holy Spirit moves me. So I started doing that when I practicing that when giving to people who do not have a home. And I will do a video about that. So smile at people, have good conversations, feel good about yourself, work on your posture. Just working on your posture makes you feel boss. Like when you're like straight as a rod, like you're a ballet dancer, you're just ready to just pirouette somewhere. I don't know. Pirouette? Whatever. You're ready to do, excuse me, some kind of ballet move somewhere. But it's just, man, you just feel amazing. And I've worked on, like, I try to walk, you know, calmly. No one can rush me. No one can bump me. I mean, I do get bumped sometimes because I just go in a straight line. Like, I'm not moving for you unless you're an old person. I just keep it pushing. I mean, in New York, you go like this and you switch and stuff so you don't hit people. But I'm like, I can't be interrupted in my walk. I walk in grace and I walk with purpose. I do all of this for my ancestors who weren't allowed to meet the eyes of white people, of people from European descent. I look you in the eye. I walk in grace. I walk tall. I walk with confidence and authority because my ancestors, when you walked by, had to step aside, had to cross the street, had to put your head down, had to say, yes, master, or yes, mister, yes, sir, yes, miss, yes, Mrs., had to be in fear. And I don't have to be. I mean, the world is not perfect and it still doesn't love me and my own, but I'm going to walk this way because you can't take it from me. You can't take grace, strength, and confidence from me, poise. You can't. Even if I came to an unfortunate and unexpected end at the hands of cops or a racist vigilante, you know, you can't take my soul from me. So I hope you've gotten something great from this. My videos are long because I don't plan what I'm going to say. I just let the spirit move me and talk. Like I said, I want it to be genuine. So sometimes I got to pause and stop and think about what I'm going to say to you. So I'm so grateful you're here with me on this journey. This is really fun. And I hope you have an incredible weekend. I go dark on the weekend so I can focus on me, my boo, and my Jesus. So do you. Bye.
This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.